Okay.
So once again, welcome everybody. We're going to just take turns presenting the slides. And I get the honor of just introducing the staff here at Pinewood Country Club. As you look through all of these names, we're very pleased that we've had lots and lots of staff return year to year. So I couldn't be more prouder than to just go over each one of these staff members. Dee Palmer, Administrative Assistant, Jason Miller, Golf Course Superintendent, Brian Obillo, Head Golf Professional, Dylan Tobin, Executive Chef, Kyle Moore, Sous Chef, Sam Chase, Restaurant Manager, Drew Hospenthal, the Bar Manager, Daniela Zamora, Membership and Events, and Bobby Jones will be back this season to lead the Youth Activity Center.
All right. I was going to say we'll have to do this by memory. Okay, I'm Rick Schmidgall, the president of the club. Janie Creekart's our first vice president. Scott Fife is our second vice president. I think he's on someplace. Margaret Dykman's the secretary. She's on. Victor Ferrer, treasurer. He's there. Troy Froderman is in charge of our golf committee. Les Marcet has been on the finance committee from day one, probably, doing a great job for us. And Brian Palumbo is not on right now, but he is our house chairman. Some of the highlights from 2022, as you can see, we added about 50 members last year, and we have 60 prospective new members on the waiting list for 2023 for this year. So that's very good for us. As you can see, there are stock prices where I rose from 2,500 to 5,000, which if you're stockholders, that's an awesome benefit to you. And then we're going to show you some pictures of all the renovations are all completely done. And we want to show you a little bit of the pictures of what's been taking place the last couple of years, especially. If you can see right here is a picture of the Oakwood room, which they have completely changed. According to Gary, Brian had an idea of changing the sofas around, and it looks awesome. Next slide's good. Then obviously the bar, everybody loves to congregate at the bar. That's been a huge success. It's super nice. We did a walkway from inside the club. So on rainy days, you don't have to go outside like we used to. And Brian's did a really good job accessorizing that, putting the golf bags there. So it looks really nice. That's awesome. And a quick picture of the bag storage room compared to where Brian was before. Now the guys can get your bags out a lot quicker and faster. So that was a big help. And then a couple of the other highlight things that we did. Line dancing was new last year. Stargazing, we had it a couple of years back and was very successful. We finally were able to bring it back. Pickleball grew to 120 members, which pickleball across the United States is over the top right now. And we're able to get Sharon Welsh, Dollar, to be our pickleball instructor. So I heard that she's helped out a lot. And the golf course, we've got some new bridges, low line bridges to help out. So for the water flow, especially on days like we've had. Brian has introduced Golf Genius to help people learn how to keep everything on your phone on the golf course to make it a little bit easier. So you get live updates and not waiting for everybody to turn in scorecards. Obviously a new bag storage, and the lighting detection system is brand new this year. And I would hope that everybody pays attention to it. We have a siren here on the club, and we have a siren on 13 T-Box that please, if you hear the siren, you're supposed to come in so you don't have get struck by lightning. I play golf with the people from Aspen Valley. And two of the guys I saw that I play golf with got hit by lightning. they're all messed up. Their hands are messed up. Their knees it's a mess. And if you survive it, if you saw somebody who survived a lightning strike, you would come in when you heard the lightning detection. So please pay attention to that. And some of the pictures, obviously the line dancing. Of course, I'm looking for a guy out there and I really don't see one. So maybe we can encourage some more guys. On the right is not the best picture, but a picture of a stargazing thing where they had telescopes from Flagstaff came down and showed everybody the sky and the stars and everything else, what everything meant there. And obviously the pickleball group doing well. For the next picture. And we have our bands outside have always been very successful. A couple of the highlights we had was dueling pianos out there. We had Clark's band, that big band thing, that was fun. But every other weekend, we usually have a band out there. So that's been a very fun event for all of our members. I believe this one caught me off guard a little bit. Is this where the putters had to come in on a rainy day? That's what I figured. But this shows you the extent of what we do to the club here, and Gary's leadership tries to get people to, have fun here, because they easily could have said, okay, everybody go home. But no, they hooked up a little putting thing and made it fun for everybody else. So, and I'm sure Brian had a hand in that too. Obviously, this Ponderosa room, one of our probably the most popular room last year. And if you can see the hats on the women there, this was the Kentucky Derby hat day. And obviously that's coming up. But as you can see, we have a great turnout because it wasn't just there, it's also in the other bar. So we had a lot of people, and it's a fun event. You should be here for it. Now it's Danielle's turn.
So speaking of Derby Day, our first big weekend will be that first weekend of May, and we're welcoming back summer camp for 2023. So on May 5th, we'll be having a Cinco de Mayo fiesta, and that'll include a Mexican buffet, and we're going to be having a piñata out on the patio, as well as a little party out there with DJ Buddha. And then the following day will be Kentucky Derby Day, and we'll have our all-day dining specials and our drink specials featuring the traditional mint julep, and we'll have our annual contest as well as race festivities. A few other events to keep your eye out for. Obviously, tomorrow is our opening day, and for the first member there, they're going to win a 30-minute cocktail class with one of our bartenders. And then also in May, we're having our Mother's Day brunch, which will be the brunch buffet. And just keeping an eye out for all the big weekends, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, as well as our bands and everything. Another popular event from last year is our Wednesday socials and our wine tastings, and we're bringing those back. And we are also hosting Killer Keys, the dueling pianos, again this year, and they'll be returning on August 13th. And this is Killer Keys on August 13th.
Well, I get to talk about all the fun stuff, the new things that we have in store for 2023. And the first one that you see up there is really just something that we couldn't be more pleased about. Many of you know Jan and Deanna Medea, and their family has established a scholarship program here for us at the club. And the intent of the scholarship program is to give us an opportunity to hire and retain employees year to year. So the program is set up. We do have an application process that the employees have to go through. One of the criteria is that they do have to be here at the club with us for 2 seasons. So we really feel like when we go out and promote Pinewood Country Club, that this gives us an advantage over some other clubs in the area that might help us, again, hire these employees to join us. So We can't thank the Medea family enough for this opportunity. As you know from previous e-blast, we are having some acoustic panels and some photos that are wrapped in the acoustic tiles that will be in the bar dining room area. They are in process of having those installed. They're not all finished yet. Those should be finished by the end of this month. We've also hired Doug Fredrickson to, as many of you know, Doug Fredrickson was very instrumental as our clubhouse architect with the wonderful renovations that we did the last 3 years. So Doug is helping us do an improvement plan for what Rick refers to as the backyard area, which, I think is very appropriate because we have so much fun back there. But this would include the pickleball courts, the volleyball area, the swimming pool area, the patio, all the way out to the Pine Cone Cafe. We're trying to come up with a nice themed area for the Pine Cone Cafe, certainly to increase enthusiasm and excitement on the food and beverage side. The swimming pool assessment, certainly not very sexy. We just need to have the swimming pool assessed so that we can start to make some long-term planning for improvements to the pool, whether we enlarge it or not, or just make sure that the pool will last us for many years to come. We do have some new banquet chairs that'll be here in the next couple of weeks. For those of you that have sat in our banquet chairs, as you know, those have long needed to be replaced. So we do have some nice new looking chairs coming in the next couple of weeks. The kitchen staff and the bar staff have been very busy creating new menu items, food items and cocktail menu items. Some of you that'll be up in the next couple of weeks will have the opportunity to experience some of those new items. Daniela is going to take the lead on some trivia nights here at the club. Many of you members have requested a trivia night. So Daniela is putting the schedule together for that, and she will lead those nights for us. On the golf course side, Jason couldn't be more happier. We're finally at a place where we can purchase some new equipment for him. So at the moment, we have a new bunker rake coming in, a new tractor, a new greens mower, and a new rough mower. We don't know when we can expect those. All of these pieces of equipment were ordered last August, and we're just anxiously awaiting their arrival. So hopefully we'll have those prior to June 1st. Another item that's much needed, over time, the board has been considering what we need to do with our golf course irrigation system. It's 25 plus years old. So it's long extended, it's lifelong expectancy. So we're going to have a complete audit done to the irrigation system, again, just so we can find out if we need to do a total replacement or if we just need to do minor repairs, again, just to help us with some of our future planning. I know you all be excited to see some of the golf shop enhancements. Brian's done a really good job with bringing in some new displays, kind of in one of the corners of the golf shop where we displayed some of our tennis and pickleball apparel. We did install some new slat wall, which gives Brian some opportunities to really merchandise that area much better. It's much more eye appealing. So I know when you walk into the golf shop at the start of the season, you'll be very pleasantly surprised at just how good it looks. And then lastly, Brian's put together a calendar here in the next 6 weeks so that we can do some Golf Genius seminars and, just continue to educate all of our members on how to use Golf Genius. We certainly feel that, most golf clubs are using it. So we want to get all of our members comfortable with it so that they can utilize it on a daily basis. And these are just some photos of some of the new food items. If you can see it over on the right-hand corner, this is the new area that we just spoke about with the new slat wall, a nice chair there so that we can sit down and try on some new shoes, some new sunglasses, and just maybe occasionally just take a little break in that chair. It's very comfortable. I've been in it a number of times this week. And we're going to turn this back over to Daniela.
We also have plenty of activities planned for the kids this summer. Our first camp will be the aerial yoga camp. That was pretty popular, so we're bringing that one back. And we also have the Science Spectacular, which will be in an Olympiad format, and that will be run by Bobby and Elaine Jones. We also have all of our traditional sports camps, so basketball, volleyball, soccer, and soccer shooting with Tamara, who is another club favorite. And all of these registrations for these camps will already be live on our website, so you can go ahead and go over there and send that in to us.
And we certainly don't want to forget, Brian has a full calendar of junior golf camps as well. You'll find all of those posted on the website.
The next one's players.
So the next couple of slides are specific to our Pinewood Players activities. And, as many of you know, we do have a wonderful group of members that really are engaged in, the theater and hosting all of these different programs throughout the season. We do have our 2023 drama camp, which is scheduled from June 19th through July 9th. Certainly encourage all the grandchildren and children to join in. Just in the short time that I've been here, it really is one of the funnest couple of weeks we have here on property. And then just to be able to see the kids actually be on stage and do their program, it's really great fun. Pinewood Players also has a scholarship program. We have sent out some e-blasts that has that information attached to it. If you have any questions about the scholarship program, please reach out to Daniela. They have a full slate of shows this year. Their first performance will be Four Old Broads, which is in the June timeframe. The second one, which is the youth production, is called At the Bandstand, and that will be July performances. And then also we have the Now and Then performance, which is scheduled for late July. And then lastly, we have the Wild Women of Winedale, which sounds like great fun, and that's scheduled for August. So, and for all of those of you that are new to the club, that they do sell tickets for all these performances. Pinewood Players has their own website, which is attached to the emails that we send out. Again, it's a great group of people, and they really do a wonderful job over there.
Member donations was developed by the board to address requests for the members to donate money for capital improvement programs of things that they feel they would like to see changed at the club. So they took the initiative to give the club donations for things that they thought were worthwhile, that they wanted to see improved, which is a very good thing for the club. Last year, we had one of the members donate money for the help to bridge on 13, which is running over with water right now. But if you remember the 13 bridge on the golf course, it was really bad. And the new one now looks really nice. This year, just through the statements coming in, we've got in over $15,000. That's been awesome. I can't tell you enough. If you love this club and you want to be a part of it, and there's nothing better than helping the club get the things that we need. For years, Pinewood Country Club was always cash poor, couldn't move ahead. We always were scrimping. We finally got the club in a good, positive situation right now. And the best help we could get is from the members right now. If you think you like something and you want to donate to it, please check in with the office. Somebody will help you, and we would be glad to take any amount of donations you want to get. Small or large. We like the large ones though. But these are some of the things. This is a picture of the 13 bridge on the left, and on the right, Gary Pecoraro has done 3 of these bridges. He's donated his time to do every single one of this, and what an enhancement to our club. And I can't thank him enough for doing all that. And then obviously we have Muncie the Bear, right up to 18 green, 10 tee box. But awesome thing for people to donate. We've had people donate the park benches and some other things, but please, if you have the money and something really is to your heart, please donate it. Okay, we can do this. Actually, this is more Danielle. This is increase social media presence and new event ideas. And
Yeah, I can. Sorry.
Sure.
So I'm definitely going to be focusing on getting a bigger social media presence for us out there, just making sure that we're staying updated on our Facebook and our Instagram to make sure that any way we can get events known and out there that we're using those channels. I'm also working on some new event ideas. Like Gary discussed, we are going to be adding some trivia nights to our Y Night socials. And I did look over that event survey that I sent out a few weeks ago, and I'm going to start trying to implement and plan those in the season. And we are really just trying to focus on progress through constant, never-ending improvement. So just always looking at how things can change and how we can better the club for everyone.
okay, question.
Sorry.
Okay.
And if you have questions, if you could submit them to me in chat, that way I can read them off and we can get those answered for you.
Have we got any questions so far?
What hours will the band be playing? Hopefully later into the night, into the evening.
Gary?
So this question is in regards to the bands. So the band schedule, we do have to work that around Pinewood players' performances. So that's why we tend to have our bands from that 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock time frame. We do have 2 bands scheduled this season that will play a little later. We have, I think they're scheduled from 3 to 7, so we're just kind of extending it an hour later. We do have our stockholders weekend and our veterans weekend where we will have the bands perform during the evening hours.
Will the 9th board position be filled?
Will the 9th board position be filled? We're still up in the air of exactly how we're going to do that. We're under no obligation to do it, just so everybody's clear. We don't have to fill that position if we don't feel we have the time and effort to put into doing it. It's to be determined. That's all I can say right now.
And then as for the event survey, that was sent in one of our previous e-blasts. I will also send an e-blast out tomorrow and I can stick it on there too. That way anyone who missed it can put in their answers. And then what is the status of the golf course?
Status of the golf course and available for play.
So the status hasn't changed. Right now our plan is to have the front 9 open as of the weekend of April 28th. We're out there every day. Jason's had maybe 5 days that he's actually been able to get out and actually do some work on the golf course. He has verified all the front 9 greens. We verified 5 of the fairways on the front 9. He has limited access to the back 9 right now. We have water running through holes 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we can't even get to those holes at this time. So again, we will have 9 holes available the weekend of April 28th. If that should change, we'll certainly notify everybody. The back 9 is still TBD, and the plan is to have that open no later than the weekend of May 5th and 6th.
If I could add on to that, I was here 2 weeks ago and drove over to see 13 and 14 and the amount of water that's coming there. So everybody's got a clear understanding where the bridge is on Pinewood Boulevard. That comes from Munns Canyon, and that is a roaring river right now that's flowing all the way into the lake. And then the lake dam is overflowing into the golf course. And where it was 2 weeks ago is I couldn't even see 13 bridge. It was going all the way over. And I looked at it a couple hours ago, and now I can at least see some rocks on the bridge, but it's still, there's a lot of water and a lot of flooding on the golf course. I have a friend that from Forest Highlands, they're not opening until the middle of May. So that kind of tells you where they have a different problem than we have. They don't have that big lake with water flowing out of it. They have trees creating snow on the golf course that they can't get to yet. So it's a work in progress, the golf course.
They're wondering why we're running the sprinklers.
So we have to run irrigation. We're putting a small amount of water out there, and it's for two reasons. At the end of each season, we do shut down our irrigation system. So at startup during the spring months, we have to make sure everything's up and running. Anytime we do start it back up for the spring season, there are multiple surprises out there, which we've discovered in the last 5 or 6 days. Along with that, even though we've had lots of rain and lots of moisture, in the last 2 weeks, we've had lots of wind. So those areas that don't have snow on them, they've been exposed to all that wind, so conditions have already dried up. So we just need to make sure that they're getting an adequate amount of irrigation.
I can add on to that too, because driving around, I could see quite a few sprinkler heads that there's going to be an issue with, especially on the back nine. What was the other part of that question? I'll remember it later.
And what is happening with karaoke?
The question is, what's happening with karaoke? For many of you that may not know, Karaoke Mike did pass away a couple weeks ago unexpectedly. So we have been in conversation with his wife. His wife, Tabitha, does karaoke. She's going to come up in Mike's absence and continue the tradition of having Mike here with us. So the karaoke dates, all the dates are on, all the calendar of events are posted on the website if you want to take a look at those. So you'll see where we do have karaoke scheduled, and Tabitha will be taking on those evenings for us.
I remember what I was going to say about the golf course. One of the deals that we had, I think it was last year or the year before, we had almost no rain and it was really bad, where he was constantly watering and he couldn't throw down enough water. Well, it was because the wind was so high. Now, that was last summer, I think. The wind was so high, whatever you put down, it just blows it off. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where he's at on the golf course right now. He can put a bunch of water down, but it's got to stick and it's got to seep into the ground. So Jason's got a tough job right now. We have answered all the questions. Is there anybody else who come up with something here? Here we go. Go and open the microphone maybe to Brian.
Well, Rick?
Yes.
I just want to thank the whole staff. I mean, Gary on down for continuing to make sure that we can be the best place that we can be. And for you, Rick, and your leadership for our board, it's never been better. I mean, we have, but it's been a journey because it was what it was. And then we've had great presidents in the past along the way who continued to make it better. And now we're at a place because of their efforts too, that we really are a good place. And I'm just very grateful for that.
Thank you, Janie.
What is the current membership
number? The current membership number with the renewals were just under 800. And we are starting to contact all of those members on the prospective member list. And Danielle has brought in, since February, 10 new members. She brought in 6 this week. Last week she made over 60 phone calls because our prospective member list had grown to about 70. So she made all those phone calls last week and she's following up with them, and she brought in 60 members just this week alone. Good work.
Awesome. I just like to, I was going to bring this up too, so I'm glad that Jamie said something about it. One of the problems we've had here at Pinewood Country Club since I've been a member, since 1998, has been the twofold problem, really. One was no money, and the second was continuity of staff. You know, if we're able to have money to keep quality people, that makes all the difference in the world, because continuity every year, if you remember the years past, whoever was older members, that we get a new general manager like every 2 years, and it takes them a long time to get up to snuff, to realize how everything works and just the nuances of the members. And with rotating staff, it's very difficult. 5 years ago, we hired Gary. This is his 5th year, I think, right? This is Gary's 5th year. With his outstanding leadership and been able to keep key people, which is we've never been able to do before. And I attribute all that to Gary. And I've talked to all the people who've been here for a lot, the employees who've been here for a lot longer. The reason why they're here is because of Gary. That's a testament to how good his leadership is. And I think that we are so lucky to have him, and hopefully we can keep him for about another 50 more years, but I probably won't be alive that long, but any young member, no, but he's done an outstanding job, and it's just, I can't say enough. From my perspective, being president of the club, my job is so easy. It's so easy because Gary's got it nailed. And as members of the club, we need to appreciate Gary, and we need to appreciate down the road, if Gary retires and wants to leave, we need to make sure we step up to the plate and always have continuity of people. That includes Brian, the kitchen staff. I can't tell you how important all that stuff is. Anyway, just a big thank you to Gary. One other thing that I want to bring up is we were talking and just highlight a little bit of Doug Frederickson, who designed our clubhouse, all the clubhouse renovations, and what I refer to as the backyard. If you stand out in our back patio doesn't match the quality of our club. We're not done. We haven't finished yet. We need to finish the backyard and make it nice. We need to enlarge it. We need to make sure we have some pavers and get rid of all that concrete. Maybe some fire rings or whatever. I'm not sure what Doug's going to come up with, but it's really important that we finish the project. And if anybody knows the hotel business, they have to change their room like every 5 to 10 years, depending on the quality of the hotel. And that's something we need to be thinking about. If we want longevity of our club, we have to finish the backyard, but also consider maybe 5 years later, another major jobs that we need to do to make sure that we stay current and fresh. So those are very important for our club. But again, all that leadership and where we came from is because of that guy.
Does the 800 memberships include all the kids and spouses?
No, so when we speak of memberships, that's just a membership. Total people, we're upwards to 1,600 people that are part of those 800 memberships. So that includes husband and wives and children.
They're just all saying good job, Gary.
Of course.
Another question?
Yep. All right, well, I really appreciate everybody who tuned in to do this. It's important for everybody to understand what a great club we got. And this is just part of the requirements of what we need to do to make sure everybody enjoys the club and will be members for years to come. So thank you all for attending. So, all right.